Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Scouts Tarot, where curiosity and the divine align. This is your January 2022 reading. Happy New Year. And this is for Sun, Moon, and Rising. As always, please do excuse any extraneous noises you hear outside, such as trucks, sirens, airplanes, stuff like that. I just live in a busy spot. But okay, let us jump into your reading. So, coming out of December, we had a lot of messaging related to love, romance, partnerships, and it's kind of how I'm feeling this one going. It's going in that direction as well. But sorry, I just had some tea. It did not clear my throat at all, so I got nothing. I think the last sentence for your reading in December, Scorpio, was, if you allow yourself to understand what gives you emotional fulfillment, you'll be able to take a step in a new direction in terms of your relationships, in terms of your partnerships. And the very first card for January is the Fool card, which is all about taking that first step into the unknown, right? I'm willing to embrace something new, to start something new, not necessarily knowing where it's going to take me, where I'll end up. And in terms of the relationship, whether it's a new one that you're trying to cultivate or a current one that you're trying to develop into something, more healthy, more, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I don't know where this is coming from. I just chugged water too for this purpose. Did not help. What are you going to do, Scorpio? You're going to push through the reading. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the Fool card, again, represents the energy that you are undertaking to progress a current relationship or to cultivate a new one. And honestly, how I'm feeling this is like, it's 2022, new year, new me. And I want our relationship to be about, emotional connectivity or affinity, or I want a new relationship that's based on sincere expression of our emotional desires in a partnership. Like, I feel like the lessons that you learned in 2021 was about being authentic in your emotional expectations of your partner, and vice versa, what you're willing to share with your partner, that you're more willing to express more sincerely how you are feeling in a relationship. And you're taking that energy into 2022, and that is what the Fool card represents, of you are approaching your relationships from a more stable emotional state. Which, and honestly, when this card came up, I legitimately LOL'd. I was like, okay. Oh, Scorpio, can't catch a break. So, yes, you're embracing this new emotional state. You're ready to experience a new type of partnership, a new relationship where you guys are maybe more honest, or you communicate better about your emotional feelings, blah, blah, blah. And then you slam into the Nine of Wands. And to me, the second I saw this, I was like, oh, so reality hits quick. Like, whatever honeymoon phase that you got, Scorpio, with the Fool card, immediately slams into, oh, wait, so I work 9 to 5 and you work 12 to 9. How are we going to make this work? The energy of excitement and connectivity is strong. The Fool card energy is still there, but now you have to saddle that up with the work that it takes, the logistical effort that it takes to make a relationship work. And unfortunately, in the COVID times, that could very well just be like one person works remote and the other one works in an office, and they can't meet up for lunch like they would normally do in the pre-COVID times, right? Or you guys plan a date for Thursday night, but then the subway isn't working because COVID's or snow or whatever is okay, so that's not working. And you may encounter issues where you're not able to manifest the abundance that you are expecting from a relationship that's coming from a more stable emotional state, right? Where you are more honest about your feelings. I am also frustrated that we can't meet up and but there's not much we can do. In this Nine of Wands energy, it is about acknowledging that yes, it is work, but it is also worth it, right? Like, the person here is like, oh my God, I just planted all these rods in the ground. Like, this was some effort, but they're not done yet, right? They may be taking a break. They may be trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to place this other one? How am I going to make this fit? Blah, blah, blah. they still need to consider the logistics, but it doesn't mean that they didn't drop the wand and they ain't walk away, right? They're still part of the experience. They're still willing to continue the partnership, continue the relationship, which brings us to the Six of Wands energy. And when I saw the 3 come down here, I was like, oh, how I'm reading this is the work worth it, right? The fact that the 9 came before the 6 to me is about like a little bit of reflection here towards the end of January of like, okay, so we found out that Tuesdays 12:15 we can meet for lunch in person because it doesn't take them as long to get to my office and blah blah blah, like whatever way you guys figure out how to make your relationship work feasibly. Maybe it's not a physical issue either. Maybe it's just like, okay, I don't feel comfortable talking about, this part of my life just yet. Can you give me some time to work through it? And you being the other partner is like, okay, I can give you that space. Thank you for sharing. And like learning how to communicate versus like, oh, I don't understand what you can't share because I share with you what my family is going through and blah, blah. Why can't you share blah, blah. Like, you may take the opportunity with the 9 of Wands energy to work through those expectations that may have encumbered the growth of your relationships in the past, Scorpio. So now that you're doing that work and you're seeing the progress, it's up to you now to decide in conjunction with your partner, like, are you guys meeting the expectations together? Like, are you both on the same page? Because who wants to waste time in a relationship, right? Like, if you guys aren't on the same page, if you're not connecting, if you're not communicating, if you're not fulfilling each other emotionally, physically, spiritually, if that's not meeting, if those two halves aren't meeting, why are you going to continue the partnership, right? So the 6 of Wands energy to me is you guys can be successful, but only if you are acknowledging what success looks like for you guys, right? That they're matching this plan of yours, or the plan that you guys concoct together to have a healthy emotional relationship, that you guys are on the same page and you're matching each other. Like, yes, okay, on Thursdays is when I have my weekly call with my mom or whatever, and I am now comfortable talking with you about it because blah 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 blah, like whatever it might be. Or I had a lot of previous, relationships where my partner would half listen to me and then forget what I shared. So we need to work on active listening. Can you do that on Sundays at 9? Like whatever the logistics are. And you guys are like, yeah, let's do it. I'm for it. And you're willing to commit to the same level of enthusiasm for this growth. Then you guys, to me, that screams victory, right? Success, that you guys are on the right track. But it is critical that as you guys are manifesting and working through this relationship, that you're also, remembering that this is new this could be new for both of you. I feel like this is new for you, Scorpio, that you may come in with high expectations in terms of emotional expression of your partner, because you're able to dig down deep and just throw your deep emotions on the table, where other people are like, whoa, hey, I am unhappy and I'm going to leave that there. I don't know how to add more complexity to my emotion. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's what I feel. And for you, you'd be like, I don't understand that. You need to give me more. I'm unhappy because blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're able to express yourself and they're not able to, like, that may have been a serious challenge for you in the past, Scorpio, of like, I don't understand why we can't be on the same page. How come you can't just tell me that you don't want to meet up? Why do you just be like, nah, I'm okay today? Like, what do you mean you're okay today? We were on the same page and we talked about this and blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like you, Scorpio, you have a lot more to give in terms of emotionally explaining yourself, at least explaining the emotions behind your decisions and how you act and present yourself. And you may have been in relationships with partners who either couldn't reciprocate or didn't want to, didn't know how to. And now you're at a position where, like, you know what? I'm going to start this new relationship or work on my current relationship where we are doing this together, where we are having honest conversations. And that might be new for you, Scorpio, of like, okay, I hear you. You said that you don't like to meet up at these sorts of places because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Thank you for sharing. how come, like, how does that make you feel when I say I do want to go? You know what I mean? Like, figure out ways to verbalize your challenges and understanding the emotions behind them. But now we're gonna get some advice from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. I'm in my spirit. Wait, I'm in. Wow, you see that? You guys got me all discombobulated. All right, I am in my magic, spiritually aligned. What advice do we have for dear sweet Scorpio celestial divines? You're looking for one card, please. Por favor, uno card, please. Please do not throw cards across the table like last time. That was not fun. Okay, here we go. That was close, y'all. All right. Waking the Lion, number 19. That is some fiery looking stuff here. Okay. All right, Scorpio, let's get it. Regardless of the outer conditions right now, you can't wait for your fear to lessen before you move forward. In fact, despite the chaos and seeming disarray, you must be bold. Whatever your trepidation, act as if you have deep trust that all will be well. Ooh, yeah, that is definitely some Nine of Wands energy right there, right? Trepidation, the burdens, the honeymoon phase is over with the Fool card and going into the Nine of Wands energy, right? Like all the, yay, we agree, we're going to do this. And then it's like, oh shit, how are we going to do this? Like the work that it takes to have that relationship, to have the emotionally, authentic relationship that you desire here, Scorpio. You got to figure out how that is done, that process, right? But don't walk into that space knowing that it can be done, right? That you need to be bold in that approach, that perhaps your partner might be a little apprehensive, which is fair. Don't let that discourage you, right? Okay. Nothing is promised to you, but you will never truly see magic if you don't take the risk, come to the edge of certainty in your life, and leap into the unknown. There you go. That's the full energy I'm looking for, right? There's no way to know, Scorpio, that this approach is going to work with the partner that you're with or the relationship you're trying to cultivate here. Everyone has, willpower, all that jazz. Like, there's no way for you to know for sure that this process is going to result in the Six of Wands. We can hope, right? We can take a chance, take that leap and hope for the best. But when you hit the work part, you have to just hold on to faith and trust at that point, right? Be proud of who you are and who you are becoming. No one can take this away from you. Just the fact that you're acknowledging that you want a partnership at this healthy state, Scorpio, is monumental. So many people go through relationships not realizing that they are terrible communicators, or they emotionally react without, taking the time to consider their partner's feelings, stuff like that. It's just, that's the way people are. People have to, work on themselves in order to be, better partners and better people, more or less, in this world. What type of courage is called for today? Only you know, and only you have the power to choose your path. Know that it takes just as much strength and bravery to love and be vulnerable as it does to confront a personal challenge or physical obstacle. Yeah, this is going to take some work. This guy looks beaten and battered for a reason, Scorpio. Like, this isn't easy work. Like, for you coming at it, you're like, oh, this is fine. I know exactly what I want. This isn't a problem. Let's go. But then you find, like, by wand 3, you're like, wait a second. Oh, Jesus. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like you may find yourself in, instances throughout the month where it's like, oh, geez. Okay, how do we have this conversation? Or I don't even know how to feel about this. I need to take a minute. I need to take a walk and process my feelings, and then let me get back to you. Okay, partner. Like, you may need to come up with different ways to approach this, but don't give up, right? Don't stop pushing because it becomes hard. Right? So lean on your strength, stand your ground, and realize that as you're doing this work, you are making progress. With each step that you take, the closer you are getting to the Six of Wands energy here. All right, beautiful, beautiful. So we'll slide waking line back to the Fool, and now we're gonna get some advice with the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle deck for our 9 of Wands energy. All right, let's go, Scorpio. I'm in my magic spiritually line. What advice do we have for the dear sweet Scorpio celestial divines? Can I get the card, please? Ooh, 1 card. All right, let's see what we're working with. Okay. Stop. Are you gonna fight me, huh? Okay. Sorry. Those are some very glossy cards here. All right, the Hungry Ghosts. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. All right, number 14. I've never seen it as in I've never had to read for it before. What are we working with here, Scorpios? When the hungry ghosts appear on your path, they may not seem like allies because they represent your constant focus on the past and the consuming desire to know the future, which rob you of your true present. But in fact, they are here in the service of alerting you to obsessive thinking and addictions. They're masters at magnifying repetitive behavior. Ooh. Okay, this is that 3rd wand I was talking about, right? The one where you're like, everything's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Scorpio's not to be like you guys can be some obsessive folk, but you when you get a bone, you're not ones to let them go, especially if you know that there is a I am right aspect to it. In terms of the relationship here, I think there may be aspects of a challenge where you rely on your past experience and turn to that to be like, yeah, well, when I was with this partner and we had a similar problem, what I said got them straight and we were better for it. And in reality, for your current partner, they may be like, actually, that was a shitty thing to do to your partner. Are you sure they were okay with that? And you didn't just like bully them into doing whatever? Like, you may rely on the past too heavily in trying to move forward. Remember, you're in the Fool card energy. You're trying to do things differently, and you need to work together with your partner instead of going into it with assumptions about what you think or believe to be right. That you also need to open your eyes here, right? That you don't want the ghost of your past putting obstacles in your path that will trip you up. Right? Because the 9 of Wands, like, again, beaten and battered a bit here, right? Like, how did this person get this bandage? Yeah, there's some trippage happening here. Let's see. Now is the time to let go of that thinking. Surrender your will, your life, your heart's desires, and all that pains you to the divine. Order will be restored in your world. The hungry ghosts also bring understanding about the distractions of life that seduce you into forgetting what you really desire. Ooh, yeah. If there was a relationship that you had in the past, Scorpio, where you were like, this was literally the best relationship I ever had. It's unfortunate that my partner, or whatever it was, we just didn't work out. Whatever happened. But if you bring that energy of like, I want my relationship to be like what that one was when it was at its pinnacle, when it was like the best, you're going to create obstacles for yourself, right? That you're going to forget why you're trying to be emotionally vulnerable, emotionally responsible, and communicative in this new partnership. Because, there's a reason why that one didn't work out, right? Again, this won't resonate with everyone, but in instances where the relationship ended because there was an emotional disconnect or failure to communicate, whatever it might have been, that you don't want to ignore that part of the past and take in, what you remember as the good part when you're trying to make a better, a healthier relationship, right? Because if you forget the hard part, you're going to leave yourself in a position in your current relationship where you can't grow. And you want to grow, right? You want this to be, that 6 of Wands energy. You want this to be an enthusiastic, loving, joyful experience, right? Where you guys are working together to build something new. So just keep in mind, I'm not saying every Scorpio is going to slide down that path, but you do want to keep in mind that the point of this Fool energy, this new journey in emotional fulfillment in a romantic partnership, is to not rehash the past. It's not trying to get the best parts of the relationship that you had before. It's to have something totally different. And so again, 9 of Wands energy, you got to be ready to let go of some of those parts that you may be bringing to the table that y'all don't need to be eating. Okay? All right, so our last card is the Super Attractor Oracle deck, and this is for our 6 of Wands energy. In my magic spiritually aligned, what advice do we have for dear sweet Scorpio, celestial divine? Can we get one card of the Super Attractors? One card, por favor. Okay, let's try that again. And please don't fall all over the floor this time. Be most appreciated. All right, Scorpio. You're on a very curious journey, to say the least. You guys are emotionally, deep people when you showcase that. You don't show it to everybody, right? You guys can be like, no, get the fuck out. You don't get to know anything about me or my emotional state. We're keeping you on the surface. But when you guys do let people in, you guys go hella deep sometimes. Sometimes it's to drown the person, and sometimes it's so they can see the wonders of what emotional depth looks like, and the beauty at the depth of the ocean, the deep of the ocean, right? This could be the Little Mermaid, or this could be the lake from Lord of the Rings in Moria. Like, how deep are we going here? It depends on the waters you take them. And so just keep that in mind as you're on this new journey, Scorpio, that you don't take them to your partner to depths they're not ready for, right? Make sure that as you're doing this work, that you aren't just taking them to the parts that you know either. You gotta be ready to explore parts of this emotional depth that you aren't familiar with. You guys need to match each other in this. All right, let's see. Can we get one card, please? And I only take cards that fall out, twist out, slide across the table, angrily crash into the ground, all those. But the reason that I attribute to cards taking a while to show up is that it's a heavier theme for you, right? Like, this is something you've been working through for a while, of trying to find a partner that matches your emotional intensity, vulnerability, communicativeness. Just trying to find somebody who can be a partner in that space for you. In order for that to happen, Scorpio, you gotta do this journey together. You can't, drag them kicking and screaming. It's not gonna work. They have to be already willing to do this journey. And maintaining that, again, the 9 of Wands energy, doing the work of, okay. All right, one card, please. That was like 3. But we're getting there. Ooh, yeah. But it was when I was talking about the 9 of Wands that it became all angry and such. Okay, almost there, almost there. Let us do, and yeah, it didn't feel right either, that card. But when it shows up, we're gonna know. Okay, and there it is. Obviously, we're gonna know them right here. What are you doing? Ooh, okay, this is a long one. When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally. Support will surround me, and movements will form. Wow, look at all the flowers in here. Ooh, that is beautiful. So yes, when I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally. The point of this experience, Scorpio, of this work that you're doing throughout January, this full energy that guides you straight into reality of the process of making an emotionally mature relationship work, is part of making joy your priority, right? Who wants to be in a relationship that isn't based on love and joy, right? And as you maintain that focus, the solutions that you'll need to find with the 9 of Wands, trying to be like, okay, so that was an issue, but we solved it. Okay, that was a challenge, but we conquered it. That was an obstacle, but we jumped it. by getting over the past and perhaps some of the more obsessive, possessive ideas we have about what a healthy emotional relationship looks like, and instead having a conversation with your partner about what a healthy relationship looks like, you guys will develop those brilliant ideas naturally together. And as you're doing that, you guys will find support in each other, right? Like the Six of Wands, yes, it is about victory, but it's about supporting the person who is victorious, right? Like you can have victory and have confidence and all that other stuff and walk the finish line alone. But this person has folks around them who are celebrating that joy, celebrating that victory, right? And as you guys support each other, like, yes, we did it. We made it to that point. Okay, maybe you're not going to jump up and down and clap hands, but you know what I mean. When you celebrate the things that you do, as you handle your wands throughout the month of January, you support each other. Like, thank you so much for sharing that. I know that wasn't easy, but I truly feel like I understand you better now, and I'm proud of you for taking the time to, yada, yada, yada. Giving yourselves that space to have those conversations and then acknowledge the work it takes to get there and then support each other in it. You guys are going to move forward. You're going to move towards success together. It's just a matter of relying not on the past, but on each other. That you have to be bold, right? And stand firm in your commitment to the relationship. Not to the relationship of the past, but the one that you guys are working towards together. And then as you do that, as you're supporting each other and you're relying on joy, you guys will have the emotionally responsible, emotionally mature relationship that you've been striving for. All right, pop, 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 Scorpios. Okay. Well, I do hope that resonated with you all. It won't resonate for everyone, but I hope that for those that it did, it does provide some support and insight for you throughout the month of January. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I shall see you in February.